Matthias, Bernardo, thank you for taking time to sit down with me. Really appreciate it. It's been about 24 hours since the game yesterday. What's the mood like been in the City camp so far?
You want to start?
Go on.
I mean, we know we are in a tough position. Of course, not one game is going to change everything. You know, so we've been like this for a while now, and we want to bounce back as quick as we can. We were trying. Sometimes we can't. Like sometimes it feels like we're gonna bounce back. Sometimes we take another step back. So I mean, of course we're not happy. We're not satisfied, and we want to come back to what we were before.
It must be especially tough for you, Bernardo, because you've been here for so long, and I think it's safe to say it's the toughest period as a City player for you and the rest of the team. How is it day by day? It must be so incredibly frustrating, particularly yesterday, because you didn't come on the pitch to make a difference.
No, it is frustrating and disappointing. This day had to come, the day where we didn't a season where we weren't as good as we used people to. I don't think overthinking and putting everything in question is a solution. That's my opinion. Obviously, I think that we need to do much better than what we've been doing. But I still believe in this group of players. We've had a lot of problems this season in terms of injuries that don't explain the performances as well. But it's a big factor. We also, when we started struggling, I would say October, November, with the injuries. Then to bounce back is always more difficult because you get players not only with problems physically but also mentally. It's difficult to come back from those situations, and I would say that the same way that we've been together for the last 7 seasons and we won 6 Premier Leagues. I would say that this is the time to stick together. I know it's tough. I know we've lost a lot of games, and it's not easy to take for the fans, for everyone. Don't count on me to give more fire to this narrative that we're not good enough anymore just because of 6 months. I would say I have a lot of belief in these players. I have a lot of belief in this group. And I still think that we can turn things around, knowing that this season we're late in the Premier League, we're already late in the Champions League, we're out. But 6 bad months don't make everything very, very bad. We don't make all the players very, very old, don't make all the players very bad in a lot of different things. So yeah, don't count on me for that.
Yeah, I completely agree. To win 4 league titles in a row, 100 points. I mean, what you've achieved at City has been remarkable and might never ever be emulated again. The treble as well, let's not forget about that. But what has the manager said about the current situation to the players?
I mean, like you said, for us to stick together to get through as a group. And yeah, like you said, like we're not, because now we're losing, it's not that we are in the end of the world. Like we're not like the worst team in the world. And like sometimes I watch his press conference after the games, and there are games where we play good, but we don't win, and then it's frustrating. Not only for us, but for all the fans outside of the club as well, because we don't win, and that's what we work for every day. That's what we aim for, and that's what this club deserves. But sometimes we don't, and like when we won, we were not the best in history, and now we're not the worst. So I mean, we just have to stick together and keep going.
Have you personally found yourself having to adapt more this season? We've seen you play at right back, of course. I mean, you have someone who's played in pretty much every position on the pitch, bar goalkeeper, left back, midfield, attacker. For yourself, is it the adaptability as well, game by game, playing out of position?
I mean, you have to be ready to play whenever and wherever the manager wants to put you in. And I mean, like you said, he did as well. So why can't I do? Like, why can't all the other players do? Like, when you need to be ready, it doesn't matter what he chooses to put you, and trying to do the best for the team. Of course, I know it's not my position, but I have to learn. I have to ask the other guys who play in that position, trying to take in what they advise me, what they help me to get through and help the team.
Is it difficult to adapt to a new position, Bernardo? Because you've played everywhere on the pitch. You really have.
It is. I would say that players have different qualities, physical qualities, the understanding of the game, everything. and obviously when you spend all your academy years training just in one position, you need time to adapt to a different position, and with me it happened. For example, for false 9, when I played, because I played a full season false 9, in the beginning I hated it, and I had to adapt, and I had to feel a bit more comfortable, even though it's not easy. For example, when I play on the left as a left winger, which I played not a lot but a few games, I never felt comfortable there. You need to adapt. When I played left back, even more, it's so tough. So your specific qualities say that you're probably better in a specific position, but I think the understanding of the game and the availability of being able to play in different positions, it helps you a lot as a football player, and Mateus has been doing that in a fantastic way this season as well.
No, I think it speaks to both of you, your ability and your intelligence to be able to do it, because I don't think every player could, but you're both very commendable in what you've achieved. Can we also talk a bit about Omar Mamouche? I've been so impressed watching him. I think he's electric. It must be great for you to have him on board as part of the squad now.
I mean, yeah, of course, in a period where we were struggling a bit with the results, to have new players in and to have specifically him, we know he was doing very good in Bundesliga, and like I said, his energy, his movements, like you can tell that he always like a threat to a position. So, I mean, it's also very good to have the other ones as well. Kuza has been like helping us a lot in this part of the season. So I mean, of course, because we were not doing very good, like all the comments outside start to go in like, you're not good enough, you're not good enough. But we are. We just maybe need a little bit more of fresh players, and that's what the management did. And I mean, they're trying to help us, and hopefully they also future players for the years to come.
Yeah, so I'm very surprised how quickly they've adapted to the Premier League. You've come from overseas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it's like to come to the Premier League with the weather in Manchester. It's cold, it's freezing, and the pace of the game is just relentless. It's so impressive.
Yeah, and the standards now are even higher than when I arrived. I would say that especially the mid-table teams and the lower teams are much better now. The quality in the Premier League right now is unbelievable. It feels like every 3 days you have a Champions League game. And for the new players to adapt, it's obviously a bit more difficult, but they've done it in a fantastic way, yeah.
I'll be at the Spurs game just 2 days from now. What are you expecting from a fixture like that? Because Spurs have found form, and they themselves, like you, had a lot of injuries to deal with. Mm-hmm. But it's their pressing. I mean, are you probably adapting right now and training to what to expect from Spurs?
I mean, we played against them a lot of times already, and we know they're a very pressing team. They have a lot of quality players. Like I said, they have injured players, but they still have a lot of quality players in the squad, and for sure it's going to be a really tough game. It's always tough there. I think we won for the first time in last season.
Yeah.
For how long? 5 years, 6 years?
Since the new stadium.
Since the new stadium. So we know it's very tough always to play there, and I mean, we're going to try to do our best to win, like we always do, but we know it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, as is every single Premier League game, to be fair. Do you have a message for the fans to effectively say stick with you, because we know the talent this team have, and the manager and the whole team that he's assembled here? Anything you want to say out there?
Well, what I would say to the fans, we feel the love. We feel the love, especially when we play at home. We feel that they're disappointed like us. They're frustrated, obviously, and they have to show their disapproval of some things when we don't perform well. That's totally fine. But I would say that we feel that they're still with us. We feel they're very grateful for what we did in the past. But we're not just looking at what happened in the past. We want to do better in the future, and we can assure them that we're gonna give them our 100% to make things better in the future, and that's all we can promise. I think stay with us, because I think the future for this club is very bright still. Yeah.